A new Gundam show has just been announced. Gundam GQuuuuuX, or Gundam Cracks is meant to be said. Other than its extremely odd name, this is a surprising announcement, especially since it is so close after both the end of Retro Mercury and Gundam Seed Freedom, plus its prequel show that got announced not too long ago. I also know that there's been some data mining about info about the show, but since that stuff hasn't been announced yet, or is also subject to change, I will not go into detail about it and brought up for this analysis. But now let's see what this new Gundam show has in store for us. Like the Retro Mercury, we're back in space and following a protagonist who hasn't set foot on Earth. Though, unlike the Retro Mercury, we don't have a name that's easily said for English speakers. This is Ami Yusurai. She's a Gundam pilot and takes on the name Machu. While doing so, we're back to having mobile suit fights, but unlike the structured and authorized fights from that show, in this show, the underground gang fights known as MAF fights that follow similar rules to G Gundam's G Fighter rules of destroying the mobile suit's heads in order to win. We learn this info in the trailer through our protagonist's chosen gang for these fights, the ominously named Pomeranians. Though, despite the goofy sounding name, their leader is anything but, as personally, she comes off really shady, especially how she talks about Machu's abilities as a mobile suit pilot. And speaking of mobile suits, we only see two in the trailer. The first one we see looks a lot like a Zaku, but with some Jin features, like the detail on the chin and having a similar Senso Mohawk style, like the Jins though, but more practical. And also, it turns out that this Zaku type has been done up for police work. Then we see the Gundam, and it's fighting some funnels, similar to ones seen from the 1 Year War, and it's fighting the unknown enemy controlling them, and the trailer ends as it rushes the unknown enemy. But as the credits roll, we get a thought-provoking last line asking, "Can I be free in space?" Then there's also some website info to go over, and like the ending of the trailer, it raises a lot more questions, like Machu. The website is where we learn she's a high school student, but describes her daily life as somewhat false and is drawn to the illegal gang fights. Plus, combine that with Machu in the trailer seemingly awakening her new type abilities, and as a previously statement with how shady that woman is, there seems to be more to Machu than meets the eye. When I saw her pilot suit for the first time, I was immediately reminded of Pearl 2, and the info from Machu's bio only strengthens this feeling. Maybe Machu is a clone with this false life, a Truman Show style experiment to copy the life of the original pilot to making Machu's new type of powers. Next, Nan. We're told that she's a courier who smuggles illegal goods. When Nan's homeland was turned to a battlefield, she became a refugee. She escaped her colony alone in a petite mobile suit, but is unable to check on her family. Then gets moved to Matthew's colony, with the last line in her bio being her highest priority is her own survival. In connection to that line, we do see Nan with abused cheek in the trailer. I wonder if she lost the legal goods during her colony's attack and is now in debt. When she meets up with Matthew, seeing her new friend in trouble, tells Nan about the underground MS fights in a way to pay off her debt. Finally, about these two, it's also worth noting that on this show's poster, it only has Nan in the foreground, with Machu in the background, slightly touching the Gundam with no sign of a last character with info. Sunji Ito, he has the most info out of the three, but it raises a lot of questions. His bio says he is a mysterious boy who appears before Machu and Nan, alongside being wanted by both the military and the police for graffitiing over the outer colony walls. He too participates in clan battles in order to earn money for a certain purpose and becomes Machu's Mav, whatever that means. But we're told that these fights are a 2v2, so I guess Mav just means partner in this context. But that's not all. We're also told that Shinji also piloted an unidentified Gundam pursued by both this Space Force and police, so there's something definitely up with him. So he's already hiding something from the get-go, and I imagine the first arc of the show ends with this secret being uncovered. Now, let's quickly talk about the MS again. As we're only told about the GQuuuuuX, as I'll call it, and it's a mysterious state-of-the-art mobile suit piloted by Matthew. It participates in clan battles as part of the Pomeranians. Plus, that with that quick scene of Shinji speaking on the Gundam's behalf, I'm pretty sure this mobile suit is the Gundam he came in on, and they also seemingly changed its look as we see its arm stripped to the bone with no armor on it. With that said change of armor, the Gundam also switches pilots as Michu is obviously the GQuuuuuX's pilot, but there are 10 other MS not told about, despite literally seeing a Zaku type MS in the trailer. I understand not telling us about the other 9, but why not tell us about why not the Cyclops mobile suit? Finally, the last line of the trailer, "Can I be free in space?" Who said that? At first, I thought it was Matthew, but after watching the trailer a few times, I think it might be Nan, as it is spoken in the same soft tone of voice Nan spoken in the trailer, but it's still a puzzling line, as going by her bio, Nan has only lived in space, but maybe that's why. Maybe Nan feels like needs to be on Earth to truly be free, as the inverse of Gundam's message of don't let your soul be weighed down by gravity. Maybe Nan feels like she needs to be grounded by gravity to be free. Same for Matthew, as going by what she said in the trailer, Matthew is very interested in the oceans of Earth, plus her thoughts on colony life feeling fake. And that's it, my thoughts on Gundam GQuuuuuX announcement. It'll be interesting to see if any of my thoughts come true, or how extremely wrong I am. But in any event, this is definitely going to be an interesting Gundam show to watch.